Good morning, boys and girls. Buenos días a todos. I hope that you guys have been rested and enjoying your time at home. What we are going to do today is we are going to work on math. Woo! Hoy vamos a practicar matemáticas otra vez. What we're going to focus on today is shapes. So we're going to work on rectangles and squares. Hoy vamos a practicar las formas y vamos a hablar sobre las diferentes formas. Hoy solo vamos a hablar sobre rectángulos y cuadros. So today we're going to talk about rectangles and squares. Now, I hope that you all have been reading and doing your best work at home, whether you're reading or practicing your math or reading your sight words or reading a book. So I see that there are some shapes hiding in my picture. Veo que hay unas formas que están escondidos aquí en el dibujo. So veo que el rectángulo está acá abajo y está escondido acá con el niño que está escondido ahí. Y también veo que hay un cuadro que está escondido. ¿Dónde? ¿Dónde lo ves? I see that there's a little boy here, and he's hiding with a rectangle under the mushroom. And I also see that there's a little girl hiding. Where is she hiding? You're right. She's hiding with a square on my book. So it looks like I'm reading all about rectangles and squares. Now today, that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to talk about rectangles and squares, and we're going to open up this math book about rectangles and squares to see what we can learn about those. Are you ready? Woo! Let's do it. So, first what we're going to do is we are going to practice counting to 100. So, I'm going to count with you, and I want you to make sure you're counting loudly. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61. Sorry. Hold on. 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70. Let's change colors. 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90. Let's switch colors again. 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100. Woo! Great job, boys and girls. Now what we're going to do is we're going to count by fives. Are you ready? Let me hear a woohoo if you're ready. Woohoo! Let's go. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 55, 60, 85, 100. Did I do it right? Oh, man. Let me try again. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95, 100. Did I do it right this time? Yes? Awesome. Clap for me. I get a round of applause. Awesome job to me. Now what we're going to do, boys and girls, is we are going to count by... Do you know what we're going to count by? Shout it out if you know it. We're going to count by tens. Awesome. So, I'm going to count and you will count with me. Are you ready? Are you ready? I can't hear you. Let's begin. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Again, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Wow, you guys sound awesome. Like the best counters ever. Muy bien. Claps, 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 claps. Woohoo! All right, great job, boys and girls. Awesome. Okay, boys and girls, so what we're going to do now is we are going to learn a little bit, or a lot, about shapes and shapes that we see. Now, we are going to focus on two shapes here. We are going to focus on rectangles and squares. Can you say rectangle? Can you say square? Awesome. So, this really long shape I see here, it's blue, and I also see that there's a little boy holding it, right? So here I see that this shape, this blue shape, is long, and it has four sides, okay? So this shape has 1, 2, 3, 4 sides, 4 vertices, so 4 points, and 2 sides are long, and 2 sides are itty bitty teeny tiny short. Okay, this shape is called a rectangle. Can you say rectangle? Awesome. Now I'm going to look at my next shape. And I see that this shape is pink. I see that there's a little girl holding it. And I see that she is holding a square. Now, a square and a rectangle both have 4 sides, both have 4 vertices. So they both have 4 sides, but I do know that the rectangle has 4 sides, 2 that are long and 2 that are short, and the square has 4 sides that are equal. They both have 4 vertices, meaning that they both have 4 points here where the lines meet, although one shape has equal sides while the other has 2 long and 2 short. So, when I say the word, I want you to repeat after me. Rectangle, square. Rectangle, 2 long, 2 short. Square, all equal. Very good. So el rectángulo tiene 2 lados que son largos y 2 lados que son más chiquitos, más cortos. El cuadro tiene 4 lados que son todos iguales. So, cada lado es igual. No tienen más unos que son más largos que otros. Todos son iguales en tamaño. Okay? Awesome. So here is a rectangle. It has 4 90-degree angles. So that means that where the lines come together right here, it has 4 of those points. So I can count those points. 1, 2, 3, 4. So those are my 4 vertices that I'm looking at, my 4 points. It has 4 sides. 1, 2, 3, 4. and it has two long sides. So here are my long sides. And it has two short sides right there. So I see that it has two long sides and two short sides. So when I look, I want you to look at the rectangle. Can you point to a long side? Good. Right here es un lado que es largo y este es otro lado que es largo. Ahora, ¿me puedes encontrar un lado que es corto o más chiquito, más pequeño, más corto? Now I want you to point to a side that is short. Good. So now what I want you to do is point to each side and count all of them. Quiero que cuentas cada lado. How many are there? ¿Cuántos lados hay? How many? 4. Great job. Now I want you to count each point or each vertice. How many points or vertices do you see? If you said 4, you're exactly right. Great job. Clap it up for you. Woo! Now we're going to look at a square. It also has 4 90-degree angles. So my square has 4 vertices here, 4 points that are at 90 degrees. So they're perfect 90-degree angles here on each point. It has 4 vertices, like I said. So it has those 4 points that we just talked about. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then it also has 4 equal sides. So I know that when we just talked about the rectangle, we noticed that the rectangle was what? It was long, right? So a rectangle, when we take that square and we stretch it, we get a rectangle. But right now we're just talking about a square. So we see that all of these sides are equal. So all of the sides, there are no short and no long. They're all the same. Whether that means that the square is this size, or even this size. Whoa, it's big. So what I want you to do with my gigantic square is I want you to point to one side of this square. Point to any side of the square. Point to another side. And another. And another. Very good. So what we're going to do now is we're going to count those sides. So let's go and count each side. Here's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Did we count all the sides? Yes, we did. We see that this square has 4 sides, just like the rectangle, although all of the sides are equal. Okay, boys and girls? So when we're looking at our shapes, when we're looking at our square, we see that the square has all equal sides. Meanwhile, the rectangle has 2 long and 2 short. Veo que este cuadro tiene cada lado que son iguales en tamaño. Pero el rectángulo tiene 2 cortos y 2 largos. So, I'm going to look at this picture here. Now, I see that there are many different shapes that are in my picture. I see a house, veo un casa, veo grama, veo un zafacón, veo un árbol, veo un sol. Here I see a house, I see a trash can, I see some stones for walking, I see some grass, and I see a tree. So I want to know, where do we see rectangles in this picture? So what I'm doing right now is I am looking for rectangles. And on every rectangle we see, we are going to add a heart. So Miss Ramirez is going to make her heart purple. So every time we see a rectangle, we're going to put a heart on it, okay? Okay. So, let's look at the sun. Estamos buscando los rectángulos. Cada vez que vemos un rectángulo, vamos a ponerle una corazón. Okay? So let's look at the sun. Does the sun have a rectangle in it? No. I see triangles and circles. I also see in my house that there is a triangle on top. I see that my house, if I move the roof, I see that the house is a square. And I see another square here because these sides are equal. I see all equal sides. Now, when I look at the door, I see 2 short sides and 2 long sides. So I know that that's going to be a rectangle. I'm going to put a heart on top of it. Let's look at the trash can. The trash can has 2 short sides and 2 long sides, just like the lid of the trash can. I'm going to put a heart on that. Now, let's look at our grass. Our grass has 2 long sides and 2 short sides. As we know, that is what we use to describe a rectangle. So I know that the grass is also a rectangle. Now, my tree. I'm going to take off the leaves of the tree and we're just going to look at the bark, okay? Or this trunk of the tree. When I look at the trunk of the tree, I see 2 short sides and 2 long sides, meaning that is also a rectangle. Okay, boys and girls? Awesome. Let's now look for squares. We already talked about how our sun has circles and triangles, how our roof is a triangle, how our door, we said, was a rectangle. Now, let's look at our house. We did establish that our house looked like a square. So what we're going to do is we are going to add a yellow smiley face every time we see a square. So here I see a square because I see that every side is equal. All sides are the same. Now if I stretch this house out, then now it looks more like a rectangle, right? But it is a perfect, even, equal square. All of the sides are the same. Let's look at, we already said that the tree was a rectangle. So is the tree a square? No. We also said that the trash can was a rectangle. Is the trash can a square? No, but maybe we could make it a square. Now let's look. Does our trash can look more like a square now? Yes, it does. So we can add that. We just changed the rectangle to be a square. Remember, a rectangle just looks like a long pulled out square. So if we shrink that square, the rectangle back down, now it looks like a square. So if we shrink it back, we can make it a square, just like the tree, but we're not going to. Now I also want to look at the walking blocks that are on the ground. These blocks leading up to the house. I see that here, those are also squares. So I'm not going to put one on each one, but I will put one on one. So I see the house is a square, the trash can, the stepping stones, and I see one more square. Do you see it? Where is it? Is it on the door? No. Is it in the leaves? No. Is it in the sun? No. What about the window? Yes. Awesome. Very good, boys and girls. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at again the difference between a square and a rectangle, okay? So I know that my square has all equal sides. Meanwhile, my rectangle has 2 long sides and 2 short sides. Awesome. So what we're going to do now is we are going to look and listen. So I know that I've been talking for a while. What I want you to do is stand up, sit down, get some wiggles out. I'm going to give you 2 minutes to have a little brain break, stand up. I also want you to go get a piece of paper and a pencil. Quiero que ustedes buscan un papel y un lápiz. So te voy a dar 2 minutos para hacer eso, ¿ok? Y ya regresamos en 2 minutos. About 30 more seconds and we'll get started. Ok, so en este tiempo debes tener ya un lápiz y un papel. Vamos a mirar un video. Este video es del currículo que tenemos sobre matemáticas. So vamos a ver esto. No es un video mío, es de Envisions. So vamos a mirar esto y seguir con las formas. Now what we're going to do is we are going to listen and watch a video about squares and rectangles. And with your paper, what I want you to do is when the shape is drawn in the video, I want you to go ahead and practice drawing that shape on your own. So you can do it with the video, and I'll pause it so that you have time for that. Again, this video is not mine. It does not belong to me. It is from our math curriculum for Envision. So we'll watch this video and then we'll continue with the lesson.
What do you know about shapes with 4 sides? Let's see. Look at the shape that is traced. How many sides does the shape have?
So it says, how many sides does the shape have? We see that the shape has 1, 2, 3, 4 sides. 2 are short, 2 are long.
It has 4 sides. How many vertices does the shape have?
Remember we talked about the shape also having 4 vertices, or those points where the 2 lines meet.
It has 4 vertices. Are all of the sides the same length?
Are all of the sides the same length? No. That means it must be a square. or a rectangle? Which one?
No, all of the sides are not the same length. This shape is called a rectangle. What shape does this dollar bill have? The dollar bill has the shape of a rectangle. How do you know it is a rectangle?
All right, so we're going to pause the video here. I'm going to give you 1 minute. I want you to draw your own rectangle. Vamos a dibujar nuestra rectángulo. Te doy 1 minuto. All right, so your rectangle should be drawn on your paper. Let's continue.
It has 4 sides and 4 vertices. The opposite sides are the same length. Now look at the shape that is traced. How many sides does the shape have? It has 4 sides. How many vertices does the shape have? It has 4 vertices. Are all of the sides the same length?
Are all of the sides in the
Yes,
shape the
all of
same? Yes, they are.
the sides are the same length. This shape is called a square. A square is a special rectangle because it has 4 sides, 4 vertices, and its sides are all the same length.
So a square, like we talked about, has all equal sides.
What shape does this cracker have? The cracker has the shape of a square. How do you know it is a square?
So what I want you to do now is draw your square. I'm going to give you 1 more minute. Ahora vamos a dibujar el cuadro. Okay, so now that you've drawn your square, let's look at our squares versus our rectangles. So we're going to go back to our pictures and we're going to talk about some different shapes that we may see in this picture now, okay? So I see a city, I see a truck, I see buildings, I see a street, veo la ciudad, veo cuadros, veo rectángulos, veo un poquito de todo. So ahora veo que Hay diferentes formas aquí y quiero ver cuáles son. So now what we're going to do is we are going to look for squares first this time. And so like we did before, we're going to put a circle, a smiley face on top of the squares that we see. Now I see that each window is a square. So I'm just going to put a smiley face on top of one square. I see that this door is a square. All sides are the same. I see that these windows are squares. I see that all the sides are the same. Now we're going to talk about rectangles. So we're going to look at where we see the rectangles here. I know that the windows, we just talked about how the windows are squares. Vemos que las ventanas son cuadros. Pero ahora vamos a mirar la puerta aquí. Esta puerta es un rectángulo. Es largo, tiene dos lados que son cortos y dos lados que son largos. I see that this door has two short sides and two long sides. So I'm going to go ahead and put the heart on top for the rectangle. I also see that my buildings are rectangles. Two short sides and two long sides. I see that this window here is a rectangle because it has two short sides and two long sides. And I also see the truck, the red part of the truck, that has two short sides and two long sides. Is there anything else that you see that has two short sides and two long sides, like a rectangle? Yes, me too. I see that this road has two short sides and two long sides. Very good, boys and girls. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go through some examples, and I want you to tell me if it's a square, a rectangle, or neither. Remember that with a square, we're looking for four sides that are all equal. And with a rectangle, we're looking for two short sides and two long sides. So let's get looking. Let's look at this first shape. I see that this first shape has 1, 2, 3, 4 sides that are all equal. So I see that this shape is a square. So I'm going to put a check mark here because this shape, yes, it is a square. Very good, boys and girls. Let's look at the next one. I see that this shape has 1, 2, 3 sides. So is this shape a square? What about a rectangle? No! This shape is a triangle. It only has 3 sides. So we're going to go ahead and put no there. This shape is not a square nor a rectangle. Let's look at the last one. I see that this shape has 2 long sides and 2 short sides. Is that the qualities of a square or a rectangle? I'm going to ask myself. Oh, I know that a rectangle has 2 short sides and 2 long sides. Very good. Here we have a square. Here's a triangle. And here is a rectangle. Let's do another one all together. To this time, we're going to do it together. So let's look here. 1, 2, 3, 4. I see that all 4 of my sides are equal. Is that a rectangle? No. What about a square? Yes, it is a square because all 4 of my sides are equal or the same. So we're going to put our check mark right on top. Awesome. Let's look at the next one. Our next shape has 2 long sides and 2 short sides. I wonder, is that a square? Are all of the sides equal here? No, the sides are not equal. But it still has four sides. Two are short, two are long, meaning that's going to be a rectangle. Now, let's look at our next shape. This shape has no sides, so I automatically know that's not a rectangle or a square. Our next one, two, three. Three sides. Do squares or rectangles ever only have three sides? No, so I know that's a triangle and not a square or a rectangle. Let's count the sides on this shape. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. Do squares or rectangles ever have 5 sides? No, so I know that that is not a square or a rectangle either. Very good job, boys and girls. Claps for you. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to draw each shape that you see here, okay? So try your best. Quiero que ustedes dibujar cada forma y ahora ustedes van a practicar a ver. Ponle un cheque si es un cuadro o un rectángulo y si no es, ponle un X. Now what you're going to do, I'm going to give you 4 minutes. I want you to draw each of the shapes you see here as best as you can. They do not need to be perfect. And what you're going to do is you are going to draw them and then put a check if it is a square or a rectangle and an X if it is neither. Okay? So I'm going to give you 4 minutes starting now. You have 45 seconds left. Great job, boys and girls. You made it. If you are not complete, that's totally fine. We're going to work on it together. Parents, if you want to pause your screen so that your child can work longer, that's totally fine. What we're going to do is we're going to go through and count and look and see whether or not these shapes are squares, rectangles, or neither. So when I look at this first shape, I see my sides 1, 2, 3. I see that that is not a square nor a rectangle because it only has 3 sides. Let's count here how many sides we have. 1, 2, 3, 4. I see that this is a square because there are 4 equal sides. Let's count the next one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I see that this is not a square nor a rectangle because we first need to make sure there are 4 sides, and we see that here there are 5. Let's count the sides here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Way too many sides. Not a rectangle nor a square. I think we all know that shape. And the next one. Let's go ahead and look at this shape. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is a shape with 4 sides. It is not a rectangle, although it is a square. Now I'm going to make one more shape for you, and I want you to shout out to me what shape it is, okay? Ready, set, go. What shape is that? ¿Qué forma es esta? Sí, es un rectángulo. Muy bien. So I see that here we have a rectangle. 2 long sides, 2 short sides. Very good, boys and girls. Give yourselves another round of applause. You have done an awesome job. Please make sure that while you are home, you have been acting like a genius, being so smart at home, and you are making sure that you wash your hands, boys and girls, especially right now. Please make sure you are staying clean and you are washing your hands. Make sure you brush your teeth. Make sure you take a bath or a shower. Make sure you stay clean, okay? Washing your hands, brushing your teeth every day. And in that way, we can stay safe and healthy and hopefully come back to school soon, okay? I'll see you guys soon. Awesome job. Thank you, parents. If you need to go back and work on this one or any of the practice slides again, go ahead, pause your screen, but we are going to go for now. Bye-bye.